The thing about gachas is that once you get into them, you better kiss your savings goodbye. Unless you're me, who has self-control. And no money. Out of sheer curiosity, I went on to check how much money I've spent on Fire Emblem Heroes. 2,753 pesos, which could translate to 150 US dollars in the span of 5 years. Not half bad, actually. So that begs the question, what drives people to spend money on a gacha? Myself, it's of course the character itself, but I am also the type of person who takes into account the character design and the art style. What I like about Fire Emblem Heroes is how it brings so many different artists. It brings a certain excitement on who will draw a certain character. But at the same time, that can also backfire, meaning that not everyone will have great art. And you know, I've been on this gacha hell for 5 years, so just for fun, I wanna take a look to what I consider to be the worst character arts in Fire Emblem Heroes. Before we begin, I want to clarify, I know art is a very arduous job. I won't pretend I am the biggest expert on the topic, and I don't want to disrespect the artists. But I think I might end up doing that inevitably. That's just how it is with this type of videos. So yeah, I apologize beforehand if I end up sounding like an ass. Anyway, if you're ready, let's begin! Let's start with the first character that made me go... Do you remember my Fire Emblem protagonist tier list? Do you recall who was S tier there? Yeah, Eliwood! Naturally, when Heroes first released, I wanted to get him on my barracks. It wasn't very hard, but once he showed up... Just... why? There's so many things I find wrong with this art. The ugly colors, the overdesigned attire, what are these supposed to be? And of course, the fucking eyes. Eliwood's first art was so ugly, I purposely refused to build one simply because I hated it so much. The only good thing it had going on for it were the memes of this dad loved his family so much he got eye enlargement surgery to see them more. The other art from Athena is just as bad if you ask me. Same issues as Eliwood. But of course, this one didn't affect me as much as my S-tier protagonist. I'm just saying, the artist who drew these portraits has not come back at all, and I can think of 2 reasons why. Luckily, the story didn't have a sad ending, and Eliwood easily had one of the greatest glow-ups in the whole game. You have the cute Valentine's art, he got 2nd place in a Choose Your Legends, an incredible legendary ult, and last but not least, a resplendent that completely fixed his original art. Eliwood represents a story of overcoming your flaws and tipping the scales. Unfortunately, not every character had this redemption arc. You know which art genuinely pissed me off the first time I saw it? Mei! You see, what I like about Heroes is when a different artist perfectly encapsulates the essence of each character. But Mei's artist failed in every possible aspect! She's one of Valentia's most unique and likable faces, with her hyper personality and sharp tongue.
Dang it! I hate it when they die right before they say something important.
I don't think there's anyone who can dislike her. Her art in Heroes is so terrible because she was stripped of all of that and fell into one of the most generic and ugly styles. You know which one I'm talking about. Moe. The Moe style that tries so hard to be cute but is devoid of any emotion or charm. And unlike Eliwood, at the time of this video, Mei still doesn't have an ult for some reason. And just as another comment, I also hate the John Tiki summer ult drawn by the same guy, but Mei actively angers me. Remember how I said earlier that I didn't want to disrespect the artists? Well, just for curiosity, I checked the artist's Twitter, and it was mostly filled with lolly shit, so... yeah, guess I shouldn't have been surprised. Fuck Gao. And since I just mentioned that disgusting topic, Resplendent Lucina. Now, I don't think that objectively it's a bad art, but it just rubs me the wrong way. Resplendents are supposed to be different costumes, but Lucina looks like she belongs in one of those children banners. I know she was drawn by Himukai Yuji, the Atrian Odyssey guy. And that's actually my problem. For me, this person has always had some... questionable designs, so when I hear rumors about him drawing lolicon in the past, huge emphasis on rumors cause I don't want to point fingers without clear evidence, and then said artist makes Lucina look like a 10-year-old because... yeah, I think you can understand why I specifically consider this to be one of the worst arts in the game. Actually, that's just a thing I hate in general, when they make the characters look exponentially younger for no reason. Kipu tends to have this issue. I wasn't a big fan of their Ninian or their two Lins, but their Lincia is the one I really hated. And not even because she looks way younger than usual, I just thought this art looked weak, soulless, and borderline bad. Elincia is one of my favorite Telius characters, and this face was enough for me to not want to summon her. But now I can't be mad anymore. Elincia has also gotten some great glow-ups throughout the years, and credit where it's due, Kipu can deliver some great art from time to time. Next on the list we have Rebecca. Do you even need me to explain why this art is so ass?
And stop staring at me with them big old eyes!
Also Rebecca, where is your bowstring? It's no wonder you're always on the lowest of tiers. My friend Mike and I always refer to her as Alien Becca.
Me dio risa.
Gordon. Look, Mike and I have a term we like to use in Spanish, bocadito de mierda, which roughly translates to little shit. And Gordon falls in that category. He's a character I already dislike from Arcanea for no specific reason really.
There's something about him I just don't like.
But why? You must have some kind of reason.
Nope. Just don't like him.
But his art just angers me. Every time he shows up when I have shitty summons, I just want to... And even then, pushing my own bias aside, this art is not very good. I think it's trying way too hard to look cute and cool, but all I get is the desire to smack him with a baseball bat. Matilda. This art is just bad. It's boring, it's uninspiring, it's weak, and just not pleasant to look at. I believe part of this is because we have a comparison. Matilda looks incredible in Shadows of Valentia. The artist had a high bar to surpass. And unfortunately, that didn't happen. Lloyd. You guys wanna see what an anime crackhead looks like? Look no further than Lloyd in Fire Emblem Heroes. Someone take him to rehab, I miss his old looks. I mean, you can argue this is his morph form from the ending of Blazing Blade, but I just think this is a terrible art. Simple as that. Dancer Inigo. Same case as Rebecca and Eliwood, where they're staring at me with them big ol' eyes. I also have a personal gripe against him, cause this banner was one of the worst for me in all the years I've been playing Heroes. I just wanted Olivia, but because luck is a bitch, I ended up with Asura, a character I hate, and Inigo with eye enlargement surgery. So I felt like Patrick on that Valentine's Day episode. Now, this next character art is one I honestly like, but my friend Mike fucking despises. Deirdre. But why, you may ask? Well, let's ask him directly. A ver Mike, ¿por qué te caga el arte de Deirdre en el Fire Emblem Heroes?
Che pelo feo de Maruchan.
By the way, he also mentioned some dislike towards Ichiro Hakko. He claimed that the way he draws eyes is unsettling, and that his favorite art from that artist was Oscar because... yeah, I just found that really funny. Legendary Dimitri. This one can make an interesting case study. This art was drawn by Kurahana Chinatsu, the main artist from Three Houses. While she has proven herself to be quite capable, her Legendary Dimitri just... sucks. I don't know why he looks shorter than Nadelgarth. I don't know why his face looks like he doesn't wanna be here. And I don't know why his injured art resembles someone who doesn't want to get up early. This version of Dimitri feels lazy and uninspiring. So no, thanks. I think I'll stick to the other better drawn Dimitris. Gwendolyn. At some point I used to think this art was good because it was a novelty seeing Fire Emblem characters drawn in a different style. But as time passed, I realized that Gwendolyn doesn't look great. I mean, I know stylization is a thing, but Gwendolyn looks so frail. I mean, look at the armor she's carrying. Without an enemy, she's gonna break. Give her some protein or some milk, I don't know. It's like the artist just drew a stick figure as a reference for Gwendolyn, but stayed way too close to those lines. Claire. Same case as Matilda, where the character design bar was so high, it was next to impossible for the artist to make something of a similar quality. I appreciate the attempt at something unique, but I personally don't think it makes it. Betty is the other side of the coin. Same artist, same issue, but the difference here is that by default, Betty has one of the most atrocious designs in the whole series, and I hope she dies. So I can't really blame the artist for being unable to make her look remotely decent. Summer Noir and Spring Lucky. You ever seen something try way too hard to be sexy but ends up looking embarrassing? That's what I feel about these salts. Noir, I mean, do you want me to show it to you? I know you're trying to do the boob-ass pose, but under these conditions she should be dead. That's a broken spine. Loki is a bit more decent. I find it funny her normal portrait is supposed to represent an erect cock, but her damaged pose... Is she supposed to be blushing, or does she have a runny nose? It's so laughably bad, you can put her in one of those "we're fucking under attack" hats and nothing will change. Still, I won't be an ass towards the artist, cause they've been able to deliver some great shit like Rajat, Mustafa and Brave Marianne. Rocher. The main portrait specifically. My friend Punkstern described this art in the best possible way. I love Incis's lack of energy. Go girl, give us nothing! Male Kana. No specific reason, I just hate Kana, and his art has that bocadito de mierda aura I told you about. Arthur. I honestly don't hate this art, but ever since the game released, I've noticed that people tend to refer to this as the worst in the whole game. I like how he looks like a character from Codename Steam, another game from Intelligent Systems, but I won't deny he does clash incredibly hard with the rest of the characters. Again, I don't hate Arthur's art, but I get why he's so despised. Resplendent Ryoma. I don't think this art is the absolute worst, I mean, I don't like it either, but I'm only putting it here because Mike said he looked like the Seaman from the Dreamcast game. Hot Spring Camilla. Another clear example of trying way too hard to be sexy and nothing more. Very fitting to Camilla's character, I gotta say. But still, this art is just ridiculous. I mean, having a ton of titties is not a bad thing. I myself love to occasionally say, "A la verga, que te totas!" But this art only has that, and it looks awful as a result. Muspel. I hate him. I really hate this character. Not to shit on the artist, I think they have done some good jobs. For example, their Nifl and Livatane stand out in a good way. But Muspel... no. The art style may be cool, but his design is just terrible. And his personality and voice don't do him any favors. He looks like a My Hero Academia character that didn't make the cut because he was that bad. I can easily say he's the worst OC we've had by far. Next we have a barrage of the same character. Male Robin. And this one pains me so much. You guys know Robin is an S-tier protagonist for me. But as I said on my video, I am not a fan of most of his art in Heroes. So let's recap. Base Robin and Christmas Robin? I'll say my comments for this later. Fell Robin? He has the just fuck me up face and I can't take it seriously. And the cherry on the shit sundae? Yep, I totally stole that phrase from some angry nerd. And these glasses from my mom. His Resplendent looks exactly the same as the base Robin, even though it's a different artist. For so long, I didn't want to summon one because his arts were so ugly and boring to me. At least Eliwood got fixed pretty fast. It took male Robin literal years to get alts that were pleasant for me to look at. The Halloween one looks sick, and the Valentine's one with Chrome is just perfect.
I'm not gay, but damn, you're good looking, bro.
You don't have to be gay to appreciate a man's beauty.
Nah, bro, I'd fuck you.
Okay, never mind.
Now for a quick detour, I wanna comment on some artists that I think they're good but have, or used to have, a defining flaw in their art. Amagaitaro is an artist that tends to focus on drawing young girls, and that's very evident because when they draw someone who is an adult, you get results like Katria with her terrible ass boof pose, or Kejel, who actually looks good. But who the fuck cares about Kejel? My only issue is that this artist is so recognizable for all the wrong reasons. They suffer from a same-face syndrome. Every time a new character shows up, you can instantly recognize their distinctive style because all of their units' faces tend to look exactly the same. It's not really that big of a deal because they're still cute units at the end of the day, but it's something I wanted to point out. Asatani Tomoyo. What can I say? I respect these artists a lot. I love their colors and how expressive and detailed their characters are. I also give them credit because they were the first to give Elincia great art. My problem? The Erika monopoly that Asatani has going on. And okay, this thing isn't uncommon. Artists like Kaya8 have drawn almost every single Asura in the game. But fuck Asura, I hate her. I know there's resplendent and brave Erika, but Asatani Tomoyo has a special talent to make every single one they touch look exactly the same. Let's make a social experiment. Ask a person who knows nothing about Fire Emblem which Erika out of these three is the original one and see if they get it right. The others, like the Christmas or Child ones, are a bit more distinguishable for obvious reasons, but they still give those samey vibes. Funny enough, Asatani was so close to almost monopolizing Ephraim, but at least he was pulled out earlier before the same could happen. Now we have Hakko. I also think they're solid, but during the first year of Heroes I found their arts to be weak and lazy. You see, every character has 4 portraits. It's incredibly common that the special portrait will be a more detailed version of the attack one, usually adding more flair to it and giving the characters a different expression. But Hakko was the only artist that did not give any shit to any of that and just added one small thing to the character. Don't believe me? Here's Sida. Alright, she looks cool. Now her special? One line. Now there's Shanna. What will she get? One line. Elise. Add a few stars in and there. Felicia got it a bit better. 2 lines, one for the closed mouth, another for the weapon. But credit where it's due, Hakko has stepped up hard from this flaw. Look at Valentine Silk, Picnic Felicia, fucking Christmas Hilda, that's one of the best arts in the whole game. And finally we have Meka. This artist is super hit or miss for me, because they have art I genuinely dislike, like Silas, Legendary Roy or Kane. That's just how I feel. But at the same time, Meka has delivered beauties like Ranulf, Caspar, Summer Helbindi, and Little Minerva. So what do I hate? Every single in your art looks exactly the same. Add a few scratches, one eye is closed, the other is open, and the mouth has this grrr expression. This applies to almost all the characters Meka has drawn. It feels so repetitive and it gets tiring seeing that over and over and over again. Actually, I didn't know Summer Helbindi was drawn by Meka because his injured art looks super different from the same copy-paste expression. Now, to finish the video, I'm gonna show you some artists that I just don't like. Every time I see them return, I just go... No. Wait. Fujiwara Ryo. They're an artist that exclusively touch characters I really like. Robin, Seth, Joshua, and... No, Jacob can fall off a cliff and die. I don't like Fujiwara Ryo. For me, their character portraits feel weak, boring, unappealing, and they always have the exact same face. And it's not even an appealing one. You can literally make it on your keyboard. Check this out. There we go. That's the Fujiwara Ryo trademark. Ueda Yumehito. Call me an asshole or whatever, but I am so happy this artist never returned to Heroes. All of the 16 portraits they did are incredibly awful. For me they feel lifeless. Look at the unappealing colors, the tired faces, how weak the combat poses are. It's like every character is telling me,
I really wish I weren't here right now.
And as fate will have it, that artist was in charge of 3 characters I really like. Next we have Sasa. The pure definition of generic, while being played with terrible flaws. We have Sophia's giraffe neck, Florina's eyes, and... the rest of the characters are incredibly boring to look at. I cannot even describe them because they're so dull they give me nothing to work with. But still, that's nothing compared to the final artist of this video, Yura. Simply put, this artist has an incredible talent to give every single character they draw the most punchable face in the world. If it's not because they have an obnoxious Mohaura like Niles, Tsubaki or Shigure, it's because they're so poorly drawn. Clarice, Navarre and Percival are good examples of this. At worst their arts piss me off, and at best I find them to be average. I can somewhat defend the Herons, but that's about it. Yura is an artist that I honestly hope I don't have to see again in the game. So, is there an art I mentioned that you disagree with? Or is there an artist that you dislike that I didn't mention in the video? Make sure to tell me in the comments because It's always fun to read what you guys have to say. And by the way, if this video performs well, I will do it again but with the best character arts in the whole game. But that will have to wait. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching the video. It genuinely means a lot to me that you enjoy my content, and if you want to support the channel, well, I also really appreciate that. As usual, I wish you a wonderful day and take care everyone. I'll see you next time.